Right. So I hope you guys had a great trading week. Though it was the first week of the month, so it's always a bit tricky in terms of directional bias. But with what we have seen from ECB today, they've literally much shown us in terms of the direction that they want to take in regards to the euro. So I did ask folks on the group regarding whether we're going to see parity on euro USD. So a couple of you said yes, some said no, and almost 50% said ECB is likely to intervene. And then I think just 1% said, I've got no clue. Now, I'm one of those who said we're going to see parity on euro USD. Parity basically means we're going to see the euro and the dollar with the 1:1 exchange rate. And right now, if you look on euro USD, 1:1 is basically way down. Let's see where it is. 1:1. Okay, we just need to put zeros there. It's not that far. Parity on euro USD from current price, we're looking at about 630 or so pips. So yeah, it's possible we are likely to see parity on euro USD, and most probably before the ECB starts their hiking cycle, of which they're looking to hike in very small basis points. They're going to start with 0.25, I think 0.25 or 0.36. I'm really not sure. We'll only know once that happens in July. So yeah, parity on euro USD is likely, and you can clearly see we've got huge imbalance there. On the monthly chart, we've got the imbalance that was created way back, and the price will likely look to trade in that direction. So clearly right now the ECB is still comfortable with the weakness in euro. So that's what I was trying to get through to you guys in regards to parity. So now before I explain the pound USD, the USD CHF trades, I'm gonna open the floor first for questions. So if you've got a question to ask, you can literally ask, but I'm gonna call you out in order. So you're gonna start with Jerome. Jerome, do you have any questions or clarifications that you need regarding any asset that you are looking to trade or something that you need clarification on? So we're gonna start with Jerome.
At the moment, sir, I have no questions.
Okay, not a problem. And then we're gonna go to Zimbini. Zimbini, do you have any questions that you need us to attend to? Can she hear me? Zimbini, can you hear me? Okay, I cannot hear Zimbini. I think she's speaking, but I cannot hear her. You can even type a message, send us as a message, then I can see your question as a message. And then we're gonna go to Tendai. Tendai, do you have any questions that you need clarification on?
I would say, can you open the Euro GBP chart?
Euro GBP. Okay, we're gonna go to Euro pairs and we need Euro GBP. What time frame are we looking at?
Can you go to just go from monthly first and check something there?
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just silent this. From that monthly chart, can we say, because from that monthly chart, I see, you see the, like, which month are we on?
We're
June,
in
right?
June right now. Yeah.
The low of February.
The law of
Can we
February.
can yeah, the low of February. That is the last down, the green candle with the low, right? That one. I think it's Feb
No,
candle.
no. The current candle is June. So we've got June,
Oh,
we've got
June.
May, we've got April.
Yeah.
So this is March.
March. Yeah, March.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because I see the price there, we didn't close the fair value,
Mm-hmm.
which was created in 2016.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask on clarity, how far can we expect the 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 pound to fall to? Is it gonna go to the fair value gap to the upside? You see, there is that fair value to the upside on the, yeah, that one where we went now. Yeah, that one. Can we look to sell from that price point to the downside, targeting the close of the fair value, or must we look to buy from that fair value which was left there to the upside?
Right. The thing with the euro right now, right? I don't know if any of you
Yeah.
guys listened to what Lagarde was talking about, because yes, in terms of the rates, they didn't change the rates. You see,
Yes.
that was a bit bullish on euro. And when they mentioned that they're gonna do like 0.25 increase on their rates, that was a bit hawkish.
Yes.
But that hawkishness only lasted for like a couple of hours, and then euro
Okay.
started crashing. So in regards to euro pound, right, we'll still be expecting pound to gain against the euro, and strength in
Okay.
pound against euro on the chart. What direction are we looking
Yeah.
at?
We are looking to sell.
Right, we are looking to sell, right? This is where now you
Yeah.
need to define point of interest on where price is likely to be drawn to. Right now, if you look on this monthly chart, we should expect
Yes.
Euro GBP to fill up this imbalance to the downside, right?
Yeah.
This
Yes.
imbalance to the downside on Euro GBP right now from current price up until that you're looking at about 35 pips. That should be easy pips on Euro GBP. As for the fair value gaps that you have mentioned, now on the monthly chart, this is quite a marathon, for price
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
actually get to those levels. You're looking at about 370 to the downside and another 300 to the upside. So if we are
Yeah.
saying euro is gonna trade lower, it's gonna be weaker than most of the majors, then we are looking for euro
Yeah.
GBP to go to the downside. So that brings you to the question
Okay.
where you need to define your premium arrays for your
Your
shorting,
premium.
yeah, and then your discount
Okay.
arrays. You see this gap here, we should see price close this imbalance, because this is imbalance on a monthly chart.
That.
Right? Yeah, there's imbalance on the monthly chart. We should see price fill up that gap. And the moment we trade lower, there's no reason for us not to see price test the open of this bullish order block.
That.
Only then, that's when you should anticipate a bit of strength to come back into the euro. And by the time, if we are to trade to this open of this down candle here before the move to the upside, probably that's the time when
Yeah.
ECB is going to start increasing their rates. Because the moment they start increasing their rates, then euro should gain a bit. You see, it cannot stay down there for. It should start gaining momentum to the upside. So you're looking at about a month of price action before ECB starts their QE program. So that's probably around those price points. So this monthly bullish order block is likely to provide support once ECB has started their
Okay.
interest rate increase. So as of now, yeah, Euro GBP, we are you should be looking for shorts, guys. There's no reason to be bullish on Euro GBP. Though there are instances where you can see that, okay, Euro GB did really move to the upside, but you can see today here how weak it is already turned out to be after the ECB, and huge moves are happening going to the downside. Yeah, so it's quite an easy trade, this one here. If you are patient enough, this trade to fill up this fair value gap here is quite easily 30 odd pips that you can take from the market.
Okay.
So yeah, shorts are ideal here. We don't want to beat about the bush. Shorts are ideal on Euro GBP.
Okay.
Then we're gonna go to let's try Zimbini again. Zimbini, can you hear me? No, I cannot hear her. And then let's try Sipumelele. I don't know if he's in a position to speak. Sipumelele, your mic is on mute. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah.
Okay, Zimbini and Sipumelele, I cannot hear you guys. I cannot hear you.
I think they can type, I think.
Yeah, if you're in a position to type, guys, you can type your questions and send them as a chat, right? And then there's okay, this guy here, I don't know if it's a guy or girl. Your username is 2F0I3W. Brighton. Brighton, do you have any questions, my brother? What's happening with these guys? Okay, Spumela, they said no questions. Mr. Brighton, if you have any questions, you can send them as a chat message. Then we can attend to them if you have questions or clarifications that you require. Remember, guys, I said this is more of like an open mic session whereby we need to talk together so that we get to understand and hear of your problems, if there's any, or even regarding like the mentorship videos, if there's something that you don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna give you, let's say, 5 minutes to think. In meantime, I'm going to look at pound USD and USD CHF. Right. So I did send in the group to say there's easily 20 pips to the downside on pound USD. As you can see, price is right inside the daily bearish order block, meaning shorts are ideal. I did took some shorts here yesterday, but then Yellen happened and price impulsively moved to the downside. I was trapped there and my stop loss was traded 2. But today, I did highlight that there's quite easily 20 pips to the downside on pound USD. The reason why I sent that in the group so that you guys could also see and if you could have benefited from it. Let me see what time did I send this here. So we're looking at around flip, I cannot remember. Where is it? Right around just before 4 o'clock. That's when I send the message to say there's quite easily 20 pips to the downside on pound. So if you look at pound USD around that time, so we are talking of where was it? So this is H1. We're talking of somewhere around. Okay, let me go to the 30-minute. I remember here, right around the candle that closed at 5. That's when I send the message. And if you look at the hourly chart, right? The hourly chart, we've got this bearish order block. So the trade I'm talking about, guys, came about from the close of this candle here. Now, if you look at that same time frame, 4 o'clock, right? If you look at the same time frame and then you go to say Euro USD on the hourly chart, and then also go to 4 o'clock close, you see, that's that big bearish candle. Then you also go to NZD USD. You go to hourly chart, then you highlight the 4 o'clock candle, which is that. That's 3. So that's 4 o'clock. Then you go to Aussie dollar. You see, already these are pairs that are correlated to pound USD in terms of directional bias. You see, that's 4 o'clock on Aussie dollar. Then if you go to USD CAD, which is opposite now, inversely correlated to pound USD, you come to 1600 hours. Then you look at USD CHF, you also come to 1600 hours. Now look at the most, now if we are on USD CHF, okay, this is USD CAD, I need USD CHF. USD CHF on the hourly chart, you can see we've got a bullish order block, right? We've got a bullish order block on the H4 chart. Now this is USD CHF. Then if we go to pound USD, we've got an H1 bearish order block. At the same time, at 4 p.m., Euro USD had already moved to the downside, close to, let me just measure this candle here. So we're looking at about 47 pips at the same time when pound was actually rallying. You see, pound in the same time frame, it was rallying to the upside 20 pips, but there was no momentum for it to keep going to the upside. Now you'd have asked yourself, where is pound getting the strength from against the dollar, while other correlated pairs are already dropping to the downside? You can see NZD USD, it dropped almost 20 pips. Aussie dollar, the same thing, it dropped close to 25 pips. I'm just marking week to week. Then if you look at USD CAD, which is opposite, like inversely correlated, it rallied almost again 20 pips at a time when pound USD is rallying, when it's supposed to be dropping. USD CHF, if you go to the hourly chart, 4 p.m., at a time when it's supposed to be rallying, it dropped 22 pips. But where was price dropping to on USD CHF? Into our H4 bullish order block. Where was price rallying to? Into our hourly bearish order block, right? So that was the trigger. The time you get this candle close, that was also the same time we got, I think, the initial jobless claims, or whichever timeout it was. And then you'd have been guaranteed 20 pips. And I remember those 20 pips, they came only inside this next hourly candle. If I go, it's a 30-minute candle right here. This is the close now, right? On the, I think it's this guy here, right? The close of this candle, the open. I think I must put my trade, right? Let me zoom in so that you can see. Right here, this is where I went short on this arrow here. You can see that's my shorting trade, almost for 23 pips. But the entry right at the close of that candle, where you'd have noted that, okay, Euro USD has already dropped to the downside. NZD USD has already dropped to the downside. Aussie dollar has already dropped to the downside. Then this strength here you are witnessing in pound USD, where was it coming from? At a time when it was also supposed to be what? Dropping. You see, so that's how you need to look at price. Sometimes, because those signs will be there. You see, there's always probably maybe one lagging pair between those major currencies. One lagging pair. Today it was two lagging pairs, right? Unfortunately, I didn't go long on USD CHF, but it would have been also the same criteria that you'd have used on USD CHF. You can see here, right at the close of this candle, then we got eventually the strength that we were seeing on USD CAD, the strength that we saw on USD JPY. You see, it was mirrored also on USD CHF for almost like 63 pips in 1 hour. You see, so at times it's good that you fluctuate and read the price action of these major currencies, because they're going to give you a clear directional bias in relation to the other. Like euro, we already knew that okay, euro is going to flush to the downside, but to which levels, that's what I didn't know, right? But the levels I had already marked on euro USD, I think they've been reached already here. These are the levels that I had marked, this black line here, the 1.06387. That was the take profit that I gave the guys in the no, not in the signal group. This is the take profit that I had on euro USD, and price actually reached out for that target. So sometimes you need to look at that in terms of price. So it was basically divergence. You see, pound USD was trading to the upside at a time when it was supposed to also go lower. You see, so it's those things that you need to be well aware of when you're looking at price action. It's not just a case of saying, okay, I'm looking at this H4 chart here on euro USD, I'm expecting price to reach there. Then you don't look at other correlated assets, because there'll be signs there that will show you, okay, price is actually gonna trade to the downside. So that's what I wanted to just show you guys, like how you'd have gotten your 20 pips a day on pound USD. And that level gave two entries to the upside. Two entries. This first drop to the downside, and then we had a retracement here, price returning to fair value, and then price dropped again. So I hope you understood what I was illustrating here in terms of how you could have got 20 pips. So you're going to see that sometimes there's a time when you see maybe Aussie dollar, right? Aussie dollar, you won't be trading in the same direction with the NZD USD, GBP USD, or Euro USD. Then you need to ask yourself, where's Aussie dollar actually going to, right? You ask yourself that question, then you look at a chart, right? When you look at a chart, in this instance for pound USD, I asked myself the same thing. Where is pound USD actually rallying to? And you can see on this chart, we've got these relatively equal highs here. This high and this high, right? These two relatively equal highs. What lies above those relatively equal highs? We've got buy stops. So pound was actually reaccumulating in, redistributing in fair value for another push to the downside. And the point of interest now here, the area that was in focus in terms of entry, was this bearish order block on H1. See, this bearish order block here on H1. That would have been the entry point. So you're going to see this type of price action sometimes when you're really looking at the charts, when you're actively trading. You see that, okay, one is trading opposite than the other. Then you make a decision. You ask yourself, where is price being drawn to? Is there any liquidity pool that it needs to clear before it eventually catches up to the other correlated pairs? Like for instance, now you can see on H4, eventually pound USD has dropped. Euro USD is already dropped. And then NZD USD has also dropped to the downside. Same applies with Aussie dollar. And if you look at those USD JPY, USD CAD, and USD CHF, they've also traded to the upside on the H4 time frame. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And you can see this is what USD CAD Nothing is going to stop CAD to fill up this imbalance here. See that imbalance that we have on the daily chart. You see, so CAD is very weak at this moment in time. So for you now, you see, one thing that I normally do, this weakness that we are seeing on USD CAD, you can confirm it with oil. You see, where's oil? Oil is finding sellers right at the daily bearish order block. You see, oil is finding sellers, and right now there's close to, what can I say here? So this is the current price to this high. There's close to almost like 122 pips on offer on Brent right now. You see, because we're likely to see like huge sellers coming in now on oil. You see, price is finding resistance here, and the rally that we have seen now on USD CAD. See this rally here that we have seen today on USD CAD will be mirrored with the price action on oil. So USD CAD is likely to fill up that imbalance on the daily time frame. That's another quite easily 25 pips on offer. So I hope you understood what I'm just explaining, guys. So we're almost running out of time. We've got 6 minutes left. I don't know if there's anyone else who has got a question, guys. Anyone else with a question?
I think for me, for now, I'm okay.
Okay. And anyone else?
The other guys, I think their mics, they are not on their side.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
So
if
regarding, let me. Oh, okay. I wanted to ask regarding the euro. The question you asked about the euro on the
reaching
group.
parity. Yeah.
Yeah. So what will be the worst case scenario now? Like let's say on dollar being 1:1 with the euro. Is it because of the recession or because of the rates hikes?
You see, euro trading to a parity against dollar, it's actually euro which is suffering.
Which is suffering. Okay.
Yeah, because it's the euro that's losing value. You see?
Yeah.
So that cannot be explained as a worst scenario for the dollar. It's actually a worst case scenario for the euro. Because the euro, anything above 1.0, that's strength for the euro. You're getting more euros for $1. So if we are to approach parity, yeah, I think that's a bit extreme levels for the euro. Yeah, but it's actually quite attainable. We should sometime, I think, before the elections, the US elections, we should see parity. And the moment we see parity before the elections, then eventually we should see strength coming back into the euro. Okay. Unless if they give us, say, 50 basis points increase in the rates for the euro. Yeah.
On the rates.
Yeah. If they surprise us with maybe a 50 basis increase or even a 75 basis increase, then yeah, euro is going to find the floor and then it's going to rally to the upside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get it. And the chart for oil, did you open oil now?
Yeah, oil is finding sellers just below the 123, 150. There's a good shorting opportunity there on oil. But yeah, of course, you need to have your stop right above this candle here, which is gonna be a bit extreme in terms of oil. You can open. You see, you can open a mini lot there, or even a micro lot. You see, doesn't hurt. You can open a mini lot or a micro lot. Then you see the price action panning out, so that next time you have confidence, right? You have confidence to say, oh, okay, we've got imbalance there, right? We've
Yeah.
got imbalance, say, on USD CAD, right? Price is
Yeah.
actually going these 25 pips to fill up this imbalance. There's nothing there. Those 25 pips will be reached. So price is actually going to fill up that imbalance in 25 pips. You see, that's when you go say standard lot now, you see, because you be confident enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know any other questions, guys, because we've run out of time now. 2 minutes left. Okay, so if there's no questions, guys, this weekend, no, there's no class this weekend. I'm just gonna send the message on the group. So on Saturday, we're also gonna have a Zoom session. There's no class on Saturday. And for those that didn't manage to join, I have recorded the session. I'll upload it shortly so that you can also watch. So yeah, if there's no questions, guys, I think that's pretty much about it for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the session.
No worries, my brother. No worries. All right, guys, keep well.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.